I thought I would take just a moment, however, because we really appreciate so many people coming to hear this report and what's happened over the last 2 days. I don't want to take a lot of time, but if there are any people in the audience who have burning questions that you would like to ask of any of the delegates or any of us, we'll take just a couple of questions and try to respond to them. Certainly.
Thank you. What a privilege to be here, particularly for Chile. We all know the trauma that Chile has gone through. I'd like to hear your thoughts on how we've been able to bridge these enormous divides and create a society with mutual respect and ability to move forward. I'm Mindy Reiser, Vice President of Global Peace Services, USA.
Chile, Rodrigo, Javiera, Silvania.
You.
How we have. Yeah, I think it has been a very slow process, but the most important thing is that we have made many efforts to invest in areas that we haven't invested for, like the one that we have talked a lot during this day: social protection, welfare, health, education. I think that many sectors have seen that after 1990, many things improved in our society. For example, poverty have been reduced from 43% up to 13% right now. So I think more than political divisions, we have made a great social improvement among society. And I don't know if you can add something.
Well, you have to take also in account the.
Can you maybe stand?
Yeah, you can take in account also the Chilean history and the past. So we had a history related with. We are confident of the institutions, and so we respect the institution, and we try to solve. We had a difficult time, but we tried to solve it through the institution, through the polls, through the confidence in the system. And everybody agreed, and then there was a national consensus. And the national consensus started, well, as the Secretary said, improving the social justice and all the things that were left behind. So this was a consensus, an agreement that we have to move forward.
Any other questions? I knew Aziz would have a question. Go ahead.
No, I'm just wondering whether, first of all, I'm delighted to be here and to see a representative from the most peaceful nations, learn about their experience. But I also wondering if there is a message that can come out from here to encourage people in the Middle East to support President Obama's initiative to promote peace in the Middle East, which is needed yesterday, not only today. Because this is here an embodiment, an example that peace is possible. So is it possible that the conference can send a message to the region about promoting peace?
Someone from the region like to comment on that?
Sure.
You have to do that.
It's just one word: patience. The problem has been there for many years. We cannot expect it one administration can do it with all the good intentions. There should be a desire for both parties to solve it peacefully, and the rest is patience.
I think there were a couple of other hands. We'll take one or two more questions and then we'll need to move on. Certainly. Right.
Hi, Mary Leopold from Peace by Peace. We didn't hear much about the status of women as an indicator, though we know it is an indicator now, and I don't see anything like an equal number of women in the circle. So I'd be interested in hearing from any of the countries how they rank the status of women and how that perhaps has changed in and contributed to their status as peaceful nations.
Let me attempt to answer that one. Traditionally,
in Africa, and if I'm mistaken, there's nobody from Africa, so. Traditionally in Africa, women are regarded to be homekeepers. Their place to stay is in the kitchen and rear children. That's all. But in Malawi, a lot of efforts have been made to empower women. One thing that the Malawi government has done is to provide free primary school education, but also free education for girls in secondary schools. Malawi now has got almost, the cabinet of the Malawi government has almost close to 50% of females. Our vice president is a female. Thank you.
And I'll say, in listening to the discussion, the question of gender equity came up many, many times, and certainly a universal understanding of the importance of gender equity. Yeah, sure.
There's another thing that I wanted to add. Chile is the first Latin American country for having a president woman. This is Michelle Bachelet. And one of the first things that she have done after being elected as president was to forcing having a government half women and half men. So actually I'm the first woman in charge of the police. So this is one of the main thing that we have worried about, fighting against this gender inequality. And I think there's a strong relationship between the thing that you have just mentioned and the level of peaceful that we can find inside a country.
Just a quick one. I hope you don't regret you asked that question. We realize that if we exclude women, in essence, we're excluding 50% of our potential. I only speak here right now is because the boss is not here, who is the first woman from the Arab world to become an ambassador to the United States.
Yeah, let's take one or two more. You want to speak?
Sorry,
Of course.
just a small point. Actually, the comment on gender equality, if I might add, as a woman from Singapore, I was very shocked to see the number of women present at the symposium. And the first breakout session that we went to, I'd say we outnumbered the men. So, if anything, some of the women are so senior, they've gone back to work at the embassy.
Thank you.